Roberto the Jigmaster.
What it do, Mr. G Nosar?
Back home, man, from the famed St. Clair, man. That was a lot of fun, man. We took the L, but that was a lot of fun, man. That was God, that place is special, man.
I mean, I saw your practice. Your practice looked like some of those Bassmaster events. I mean, you was pulling out tanks, bro. I was so jealous.
Yeah, man. It was bad. Dude, pre-practice king. I mean, it's just the way it happens. I mean, pre-practice king. I just need to stop pre-fishing, man. I mean, it is what it is. But the bite got tough during the day. But we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had an interesting week, man. Playoff push, man. It's all here. The playoffs are coming right around the corner, and your team, my friend, is in this thing, dude. Is in this, and you're coming up to face us.
Yeah, that's a big one, actually. That's a big one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud. I'm proud of our team. I know we got that one L, man, but I'm proud of the team, the way we pulled through, the way we've been going about it, man. I'm just, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm stressed because of the playoffs. I'm stressed because I'm looking at all these different scenarios. I know other teams are thinking about it, like looking at, hey, if this happened and move this piece, this could happen,
Yeah, for sure, man. You talk about some games this weekend. First of all, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Jim, for coming on and doing the great job broadcasting all weekend. Thank you all for that, man. It was, it was great. It was great stuff, man. I enjoyed it. We're trying to do it, man. It's hard to fish, broadcast, and do everything at the same time. And these folks are stepping up and helping us out. That's huge. So, but let's do this, man. I want to start, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Can we start with our matchup here? I want to get our matchup here that we had on and talk to the Michigan team who defeated us, if we say. I'm going to get Mr. Zach Soler, a.k.a. Ben Stiller, a.k.a. the Happy Gilmore grandma caretaker.
The Happy Gilmore grandma.
The golf ball whacker guy.
The golf ball. That's right.
That's funny.
He's like, oh, I get your fingers hurt. Well, guess what? You just got landscaping duty.
Your
back's gonna hurt. So that's it, man.
Trying to get everything ready to leave tomorrow for West Virginia here.
Yeah, man. On to the next one. Matt Linzeman, thereabouts, my friend. Congratulations, Michigan, again. Man, 4-0, dude. Congratulations.
I just want to say, and don't take this the wrong way, fellas. I think the only people who thought Michigan would be doing what they're doing right now is the people on that team.
No question.
I have been thoroughly impressed and thoroughly surprised and just loving it. You guys are rolling, leading the North, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, we just have this great team dynamic. I mean, everybody works so well together. We all created this bond that's just ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. And it's been from day one. I mean, we're all guys that fish against each other in like normal tournaments. And I mean, when we first put this team together, one of the first rules was, hey, if we're going to a lake that give up spots because this is for the team. When it comes down to individual events, if Matt gave me a spot on a lake that he knew really well, hang on, you're driving, I'm on live. So if you're fishing an event that Matt knows the lake extremely well, and I don't, and he gives me a spot and I go there, if there's a tournament where it's me versus him versus 50 other people, I've already told Matt, you will not see me in that spot because that you told me about it. You gave it to me. That's, just out of courtesy, and that was one thing our team was founded on is we don't really hide anything from each other as far as spots, bait, stuff like that goes.
One thing was cool about this team, man, I noticed a lot of they're close and they communicate a ton. They were on video chatting together the entire tournament and really sharing information. It's key, man. Communication's key to any team, and these guys just staying on nonstop. They're talking about what they're doing, making the moves. I mean, man, they're just on it, man. And I mean, guys, it was a tough bite this weekend. It didn't show out like St. Clair could really show out, man. But still, I mean, we both put up limits, and we sit there and say it was a tough fight. Have you seen the Carolina Casters Tar Heel Lunkers matchup? That was a tough fight.
Oh yeah.
But it just wasn't the same St. Clair that you see in the spring or even in the fall. You really had to cover a lot of ground, man. And Zach, you went out there about 5-6 miles to go out to your hole, and then Matt, you were out in your area, man, and you and Fader were just all over the place. It's what it took, man. It's what it took. It took you guys taking the entire lake apart, separating you guys out in individual areas, and you guys covered a ton of ground, man.
Oh yeah, and we knew that going into pre-fishing. We knew that that's what was going to have to be done, and I mean, we talked about it. We had one guy covering the north end of the lake. I pretty much covered the mid part, and like you said, I mean, I knew going in I was going to make a 5-mile trip. It was like when I did it, the line distance, it was 4.5, and that's a one-way trip just to get to a spot that I set in pretty much all day fighting the current, probably putting on another 5 miles just doing that.
Yeah.
And then Matt and Jeff being down there by the river and stuff like that. I mean, I know they put on miles.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Hey, real quick before we get too deep into it, I want everybody who's rocking with us, who's watching right now, hit that share button, man. Get this thing out there. Let's get people watching. Let's get
Mainstream.
Yeah, get everybody watching these guys, man. They put out everybody who's gonna come on tonight or come on this evening, man. They put on a show, man. Let's hear that recap of it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Also, Zach, sweet Fu Manchu, bro.
Oh yeah, the fish love it. I've noticed that you catch bigger fish when you rock a mustache.
Well, that is definitely true.
So, Greg, with your team, I mean, you guys put on a great showing also. I mean, you and Eric and Bobby were out there grinding away all week. And I mean, you came in clutch with numbers. I mean, you had us on pins and needles first thing in the morning throwing up fish.
Yeah, because I was going to bring that up, man, because they jumped out pretty quick. And I was like, oh, do we have an upset alert coming up here? And I mean, it was not an easy match. I mean, you look at the score; it was a 2-fish score. It was a 2-fish win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they fished their butts off, and the weather. I mean, Greg knows firsthand. You get a little bit of wind.
You got a little squirrely out there. I'm not gonna lie. Got a little sporty.
But I mean, it was great with them coming up, and Greg, as always, I always love fishing with you. Having Eric come up, that was fantastic, except for the last night, and we won't talk about that.
Hey, but you know what? That's that camaraderie of the team. This team sport right there is, to be able to fish against each other and be at each other's throats all day on the water, and then come back and share some beverages together at the end of the night. That's what it's all about right there.
It was a special, man. It was a special place, special night, man, and special week, man. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the camaraderie with you guys, man, always. And we had a chance to do it here in Washington. You guys get to host it up there, man. I mean, it was great, man, and it was a lot of fun. Wish we had a little bit better outing, but like you guys said, man, I mean, actually, what was going to happen? I'll be honest with you, man. We actually had a lot more fish on the board earlier. Both me and Eric had 4 each. And what we were going to do is we're going to try to post all those fish and make you guys really sweat it and try to get you guys out of your game a little bit. But we were having so many issues. Here's a little word of advice. If you have a VPN, don't try to post in Fishing Chaos. It's not going to work. So Eric said he had a VPN on. He the app thought he was in Australia. and it prevented him from posting. So we had a technical issue. We couldn't get those fish on the board until like literally late. After the tournament the tournament time was over, but finally figured out what was going on. But I was like, man, get those fish on the board. So man, we can really start, getting in their heads a little bit. And then, Zach and I were kind of throwing blows at one another, during the first part of the morning. And then we just, my bite completely died, but it is what it is, man. Still, guys, I encourage, if you've never been to St. Clair, you got to go. I mean, you just got to go. It's a special place. I mean,
you listen, everybody watching, you definitely need to listen to that statement he just made. I mean, the one fish master himself, Mr. Greg Nosar, went out there and put a hurting on him in practice.
Hey, it's one of those places that literally you could stick your finger in the water and they'll come get it, man. So it's but it's so much fun, man. It really is. And it's a very diverse area. I mean, you can fish your strengths.
And to add
Yeah.
to that too, not only did we both teams put up a limit, there was a 90 boat tournament out there that launched on Friday, kept fish, and then was out again on Saturday. So not only was it the two teams competing against the lake and those fish that were really scattered, but also competing against 90 bass boats that were out there keeping fish in live wells and taking them back to a launch that they're taking fish from spots that we were in.
Right.
So I mean, it not only was the bite tough, but we had a lot of stuff to contend with, and we were still able to put up numbers. And that just goes to show how great of a fishery that body of water is.
Yeah, no doubt, man. It was so much fun, man. It did. It took all that pressure, all that traffic, and the fish still performed. The bigger bite, I would say, relatively speaking, was a little slower, but the numbers were there, and again, it was fun. But guys, congratulations, Michigan, on your victory, 4-0, taking solid control of the North. You got to keep it going, man, because our next guys we're going to be talking to, Rhode Island. Oh my God! Did you guys see what happened? Did you guys see what happened?
Yep.
So it's gonna be fun. So
they're definitely on our radar as a team to watch out for.
Hey, someone brought up a great comment in a great point in the comments. Is I'm pretty sure that win probably clinched at least a playoff spot for you guys.
Yes, it did. Yeah,
I mean. That's going to be big going into your next couple matchups, knowing you have a playoff spot clinched, so you'll be in the playoffs. Hopefully you'll be able to fish more comfortably, more relaxed, knowing that you have that spot secured.
Yeah, and I don't think we worry about that as much as we look at the game in front of us.
Yeah,
we're super hyper focused on what we have directly in front of our plate, and we stay that way, and that's why we communicate so much. And we do go off on, it's cool. Awesome, great job, guys. We made it to the playoffs, but we're not done.
Yeah.
I'm okay with you guys being done right here. I'm okay with you guys being satisfied with just clinching a playoff spot. That's fine with me. Okay?
Well, here's the deal.
We're
playoff position is huge, though. I mean, you want to continue to win so you get home field advantage, and I'm telling you, that is huge in this league. And you guys go to West Virginia. That's no easy task at all. But if you guys take the L there, I mean, Rhode Island or Massachusetts, one of those two guys are going to wind up getting home field advantage. Could get home field advantage. It all depends.
It could.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it depends on what they do. But you gotta, like Matt was talking about, you got to keep focused on every single game. Everything matters. Every inch matters. Every quarter inch matters. As you can tell in this last game, this next game that we're going to talk about, man, every fish freaking matters. You know what I'm saying? Well, guys, Zach, safe trip. Matt, safe trip to down to West Virginia, guys. And man, good luck. And Michigan's playing West Virginia at West Virginia on the New River. And Washington Warhawks are hosting these guys right over here, Norfolk Privateers. Yeah, I think it's this way, right? Yeah, that way. Norfolk Privateers are coming to the Potomac River. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So, guys, be safe and congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, and thanks for having us on, Greg.
Absolutely, good job, guys. Take care.
Have a good one, guys.
Well, our next matchup, man, Robert, talk about it, man. Let's go.
I just want to say that you just heard from one of the few last undefeated teams in the inaugural season right there. There's only a few of them, so that's pretty big this far along into it. The competition level, man, they're still undefeated. That's a big statement. Y'all better watch out for that Detroit team.
Huge.
Now this next matchup. Are we talking Rhode Island Rebels?
We're talking Rhode Island, man. Look at this.
Man.
Can we say that this is what the KFL is all about? I mean, that kind of matchup.
What are the chances in this not just this format, but how we score fish? how Fisher scored, right? All by
Yeah.
the quarter inch. What are the chances of a matchup ending in a tie?
10 fish, not 5. 10.
10 fish, and the matchup ending in a tie.
Yeah. Well, we've got some of the Rhode Island guys right here that have been absolutely putting on a show since day one. Guys, these guys are almost undefeated. 43 seconds from being undefeated. It is Chris Catucci and Toby from Rhode Island. Welcome, gentlemen.
Get it right. Toby the Tank.
Toby
All right?
the Tank.
Yeah.
Guys, let's talk about this, man. What a freaking magical weekend.
It was a great weekend.
I think, hey, listen to me here. I think you guys needed that first matchup, very close loss. I think you guys needed that because you guys have been straight up possessed since then.
Just got us fired up. That's all we needed.
Yeah, I mean, but before the season started, I did all the interviews with the teams, man. This was one of my favorite teams to interview because you guys came into the season with a chip on the shoulder and you were mad. You were angry because we're being disrespected. Nobody knows the Rhode Island Rebels, but you will. And I tell you what, you did it from the first match up until now. I mean, to lose that first match and come back and win, what, 4 in a row?
Yep.
Right.
That's how we do it, baby.
that's how you do it in style, right? With the leggings on, not leggings. What are they called? The skinny pants, skinny jeans.
I'm passing on the water, baby.
Chris, man, talk about you had I think you caught big fish out of that event. If I'm not mistaken, but I mean, looks like your boy Greg Crass was on fire,
dude,
that weekend.
When Greg gets on a pattern, he gets on a pattern. Like, I'm telling you, the guy is diabolical when he's out there. He is on a mission. He doesn't care if it means breaking his kayak, getting out, having to pull it over some rapids. Like, the guy is absolutely devoted. And
he's been on a tear. Dude, he's been on a tear since game 1.
So he was up there, and he was actually working from a mobile office in Harrisburg. He was practicing in the morning, working all day, practicing in the night. He did that Wednesday and Thursday.
Crazy.
That team is dedicated, boys.
They are. They're sold out, and these guys are grinders, man. They're grunts. They're a fun team to watch, man. And this is the most exciting team by far. How do you guys not have a heart attack every freaking game, man? I mean, Chris, dude, I see how you are, but God, man, you guys make it so close.
Dude,
I got enough shit going on. I don't need a heart attack.
Every game has been down to the wire, basically, except for like one. So
yeah,
we've just never had that feeling of comfort, and it really makes you fish harder, and kind of it lights a fire under you where it's like you got to go, 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 go. Like there's no breaks, But
I'm a little bummed. I'm a little bummed we don't have the Godfather with us right now, man.
Yeah, me too. I talked to the God.
He's not here.
I talked to the Godfather after the game, man. He sounded like he was a little sick. He was sounding like a little bit down under the weather, man. But he was pumped up, man. He was like, "This is insane." I mean, it was so much fun, man. God, that was fun to watch.
I'm looking forward to that rematch from
next week. Oh no, 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
I'm so looking forward to that one because I mean, right now I think you guys are second, they're third, right? That's going to be major playoff positioning.
We're tied 4-1.
Yeah, but I think you guys own the spot because of the win-loss spread.
Yeah,
I think. Let me look at that and make sure. I don't want to put out bad info.
Well, yeah. See,
yeah,
Massachusetts holds the tiebreaker right now.
Oh,
okay?
Yes, they hold the tiebreaker
because they have a head-to-head. But listen to this scenario, y'all. If Motor City Ambassadors lose to West Virginia, and you guys win against Massachusetts, you guys are division champions, and you're hosting home field advantage throughout the playoffs. That's how it's going to go down.
That's the plan.
Unless Massachusetts Maulers winds up pulling out some kind of huge victory like they did this past week, in terms of point spreads. But you guys, Motor City Ambassadors has to lose. They have their win-loss percentage is 72. Your win-loss percentage, or not percentage, but spread is 166. So the way it would happen is if you guys have both the same record going into the end of the season, you guys didn't face Motor City Ambassadors, and neither would Massachusetts Maulers. So it will be based on point spread. So Motor City has to win out to make sure that they get home field advantage. But if they hiccup at West Virginia or their last game, then you guys, my friend, take home field. That's huge.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously Motor City is a stacked team, very talented. We understand that. But the Rebels, we worry about the things that we can control. And,
I like it.
We had a hiccup in the beginning of this season.
There's the Godfather.
Hey, there he is.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Where's Greg K? I sent him the link.
Probably out dinner with his girl. The guy's been fishing nonstop for like 4 days straight. So
Yeah, I did a phenomenal job by Greg. I gotta say that off the top. He carried the team. We all produced when we needed to produce, but Greg definitely dialed in and got the job done. So congrats to Greg.
Yeah, Godfather. So, like I was talking to the team here, man, like you guys, first of all, you'll be cheering for West Virginia. And West Virginia's not done either, because West Virginia could be battling it out. If Motor City loses out and West Virginia wins out, their point spread differentials is only 9 inches apart. West Virginia could sneak into the playoffs too, easily. And they'll be tied head to head. So they've got every reason to continue to fight and beat Motor City. So you guys need West Virginia to win, and then you guys have a unbelievable matchup against Massachusetts Maulers for it all in terms of being able to host a home field advantage, man. So
we're probably going to have piggyback games against them because it's the way I'm looking at it. If we ended up 2-3 or 3-2, we're going to play each other twice. Last game of the season, then again in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know if that's good or bad, but hey, we're up for the task. So,
no doubt.
Right now, you guys have the 3rd biggest point spread in the league. And that's what
that shrunk a little bit over the weekend. Let's not go there.
That's what a loss. That's what a loss on your record. You still have the 3rd biggest point spread, win-loss spread.
43 seconds. That's all I'm gonna say.
43 seconds. That's your motto. That should be your motto for the.
I know you still remember it. That's why I'm going to be tuned in for that rematch. Like, I don't care if I'm on the water. I'm probably just going to be watching the feed more than I am fishing.
So tell me how it went down, guys. I was on the water. I didn't really get a chance to see it. So was Pennsylvania up, or did they catch a last fish to tie it? How did the tie happen? What all happened there?
They jumped out to a pretty good lead. I struggled. My first cast Saturday morning, I hooked into like a 16-inch fish, pulling them in the boat, whopper plopper, bang, right in my finger. So I got a smallmouth bass flipping off this finger. First cast, floating in current, and I'm like, oh, shit, no, this ain't the way the day's going to start, right? So I kind of get pinned up against some rocks. I took a knife and cut the whopper plopper off my finger because I couldn't pull the hook out. But I struggled. I couldn't catch fish all day. I looked at the leaderboard, and they were up pretty good.
Hey, Kenwood, how much do you like fishing in Rhode Island? I just want to ask him that because I know he's a big Massachusetts guy, but I never have seen him in any lake around Rhode Island fishing, like, especially.
On down, bud.
I mean,
they hate each other.
Let's do it.
Let's not even get into that banter with him.
The Godfather's putting it down.
Please come on, Ken. We invite you to come on, my friend.
We were down a little bit. Greg started putting up fish. It was really, really close. I looked. We were up by 2 inches or down by 2 inches. I finally landed a 16. Toby put a 16.5 on the board, and that culled up 2 14-inch fish. and Greg caught another 16. So that's what really did it for us. Those last 3 fish of the day.
Wow.
Greg had also, I think there was an hour left though, Johnny, and we were down by about 3 inches. And I did the math in terms of what we needed to call. And Greg texted me with less than an hour left. He's like, dude, I just got an 18 plus. It's in the net. I haven't taken a picture yet. I got to figure it out. And that fish what put us in the lead and eventually was the game changer in terms of the victory, because that not only equalized the first tiebreaker, but that allowed the opportunity for our second fish to break the double tiebreaker, which it ended up coming decided by. So
that's,
so,
I mean, to think about all that during the tournament, man, and to follow that, I mean, you guys, I mean, that makes your head spin, man.
Well, that's what you have created, Greg, is this format that we're able to communicate with the teams and bring it all together, and it's just it makes it that much better. Actually, 4 times better.
and what those guys
it really is.
And what they're talking about for everybody watching, listening in, is that the game was 169 3/4 inches to 169 3/4 inches. And Greg Crass caught an 18.5-inch fish, which was the big fish for the tournament, but also Nick Audie caught a 18.5-inch fish. And the way it goes, once you have a tiebreaker, it goes by biggest fish. And both of them had an 18.5. So then we go to the next biggest fish, which was caught by Greg, which was an 18-inch fish. And the bronzeback's next biggest fish was what, 17 3/4, 17.5, something like that?
It was 17 3/4, and then Rhode Island's was 18. So technically Rhode Island won by 1/4 of an inch.
Every quarter inch matters.
Every quarter inch matters.
That's also what she said.
Right.
But,
I don't know about you,
goodness,
but I don't
man.
do that.
Yeah. Oh man, but I mean, it's so
we're looking
exciting, man.
forward to the last game of the season. Those guys all got great sticks. This is how we started 6 weeks ago in the same situation up against the Maulers. So,
Time for revenge. It's time for revenge. I mean, you guys get a bye week to think about it. You get a bye week to think about it, and who's going to do what, man. And it's just going to get your juices flowing. And when you guys get on that boat ramp, in the fact that you could have the season and the entire championship on the line, man. It's going to be
realized.
Time.
Greg, I just realized that they have a bye week.
They do have a bye week.
I just realized you guys have a bye week, so you have an entire week to think about the end of the season and the implications of this matchup.
Yeah, we already have our plan. Field advantage tournament.
At the end of the day, it's not going to really matter in terms of playoff first, because we obviously did that. It's a home field advantage thing.
Yeah,
we got to play where we want them, essentially.
Yeah,
but, I'll say this, Chris, man. Honestly, what I've learned about all you guys up north, right, is that home field advantage matters a lot, but you guys. Most of you guys up north, man, fish so well on every different type of body of water that it's just about to be a slugfest.
Thanks, man. We just proved that.
Yeah, it's about to be a slugfest, and I'm excited for this matchup. I'm not even in this matchup.
Listen, I'm gonna warn you, Warden's Pond is not as fruitful as Snippet-to-It. I will say that off the rip, but I will say there is some big fish there. And whoever can figure them out is gonna smash them.
So who's starting? Who's starting for that matchup?
Same squad as day one. Brancato, Catucci, Justin. And
I'll be there with a camera in my hand.
Yeah.
Hey, so the implications are crazy. The implications are
crazy. In the woods with the cordless drill.
The implications are crazy. You guys win that matchup. Detroit loses one match. That just catapults you into first place. You have a bye for the first week, and then it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's fun.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm heading to Hawaii to do some peacock bass fishing. So I gotta jump off the show real quick. I got no time.
Heck yeah! Well, guys,
all out later. I'll be back. I want to do a guest appearance while I'm riding the pine, and be a sports announcer so I can learn.
100% it's going to happen. Godfather, you always have the mic, my friend. Always.
I tell you, Godfather, if I'm running the broadcast that day, I'll bring your own player.
Oh yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
I'm all for that.
Well, guys, we appreciate you guys coming on. We're going to get to the next matchup, and man, another exciting game and in a way, performance clutch and never giving up, man. These guys are, I mean, they're going to be a tough team, man. They're going to be a tough out, and I do believe you guys clinched the playoffs because of your point spread. So
they did
to do the numbers, but yet you guys are in it, man. So we're going to see what happens.
We don't think so yet. We're in it to win it.
I hear you. I got you. Well, guys, have a great night, man. Congratulations. Great job, Rhode Island Rebels, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Have a great
Take care,
night.
guys.
I'm a fan of you guys.
We'll see you soon.
There they are.
That's like a team full of like superstars or rock stars. You know, they're all like celebrities.
Yeah, we're going to get the next matchup here, man. This was actually a Sunday matchup, man. I'm sorry, this was not a Sunday matchup. This was the Arkansas matchup. This was another great matchup, man. The Louisiana Hurricanes versus the Arkansas Hogs. This one came down to a ridiculous situation. And I've got Scott on from Arkansas, who had a fantastic day, dude. Did you put up like a 21?
No, I put up a 19. Corey put up a 21.
Is that what it is? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I had a 19, a 16, two 15s, and something else.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I had a good day. It just wasn't enough.
Well, I mean, it was a great matchup. Brad, you have to unmute, but man, this was exciting to watch. Arkansas actually went up, and they were up by, I think,
we were up a half an inch.
A half an inch, exactly. It was half an inch. And Rodney Kidden caught a 15.5-inch fish, and we have a 1-hour submission time. We got calls, and we're like, they're having problems with the app trying to upload. I'm like, guys, you basically have an hour to get things done. You know what I mean? So Rodney Kidden uploads his fish at 1:59 and 34 seconds. He made the upload. He caught the fish around 12:30 their time, and made the upload time by like 16 seconds or something, 26 seconds, and it counted. And they actually wound up going up by a half inch. Louisiana won, and then they threw another fish on the board that Brad caught. But man, what a freaking matchup. Scott, talk about the conditions, man. Caddo's just a special place, man.
Oh,
just one of those great
I've never
fisheries.
been there. I'm from Texas, but I've never been there. It's just a beautiful place. It was bluebird skies. It's awesome. But there's a creek. The creek runs through there, and it's 14 feet. And I think like the rest of the lake is 3 feet deep. The whole thing is 3 feet deep. I'm like, are you kidding me? 3 feet? I think that I was talking to the locals, and there's a invasive new species of lily pad or something there, and it's all over the lake. And so, I mean, I went to a section that was 3 feet deep, like I said. I mean, Greg, you saw where Jerry T put up a 24-inch.
Oh, that was
that day before.
Massive.
And so he went there in the morning, and he said he was getting blowups but couldn't get a hookup. And he said, okay, I'm going to go south. And I said, okay, I'm going to go to your spot. Maybe I can catch it. And 5 casts in on a frog, I hooked one. I was like, oh, maybe that's it. No, it was a 15. But still, I got one there, and then I went to my spot, and it was just, just flipping at the tree and letting it sit there and wait. And so I'd flip one at the tree, and I'd look at my phone and be like, nope, don't have service. Okay. Look at the sky. Oh, maybe my line's moving. Hold on. And I, set the hook. And one of the good things, I'm probably on somebody's Facebook Live because I hooked the fish, brought it in, had it in the net, and here comes one of the they have tours on this lake. So one of these pontoon tours was coming by with like 20 people on the boat, and they're videoing me as I'm pulling the fish out of the net and everything. So I was showing it to them. And so I'm on somebody's Facebook Live feed as they're coming through.
Scott, talk about the turnaround this team has gone through, man. I mean, it was, it was a little struggle in the very beginning, but man, all of a sudden you guys caught fire, and then you guys are super competitive now. I mean, I looked at Corey, and I looked at Garrett and yourself. I mean, what turned on for you guys? I mean, just all of a sudden be very competitive.
I love fishing in the heat. I've caught my biggest fish at this time of the year. My 25-75 came, basically last week or the week before, a year ago.
Right.
I catch 20s all the time at this year.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing Garrett on, he has a lot of knowledge about these lakes. He's fished a lot of them. He's done a lot of big tours and tournaments and that. He basically told me a color, and I said, well, I think I can make that. I've got, I make baits and everything like that. And so he said to try this color, and I mixed it up and shot 4 of them and said, well, I'll take these 4 just to see, maybe they'll catch something, maybe they won't. I don't care.
Right.
So I put them in there, and I actually was throwing something else and said, well, let me put the bait on that he said they were hitting on last week. Sure enough, I freaking start catching. I said, okay. And I only had 4 of them. Well, I caught 4 fish, so there you go.
Hey, I mean, but you know what, dude? As I said, like every fish mattered. I mean, it came down to a half inch.
Whenever, I didn't. I was looking at mine, and mine were a quarter of an inch shorter than what we needed as far as submitting.
Right.
So I caught, I think I had 5, but they weren't going to help as far as culling up. So I didn't even submit them. So where I had 61 or something like that for my 3 or 4, I was like, well, there's no point in me submitting the other ones. And then I realized, I was talking to Lisa. I was like, I guess I should have submitted that last one, because Lisa would have showed in the standings as far as 1 through 10 or whatever it is that y'all put up there for
the point spread,
biggest fish and everything like that. So
right. Well, let's get Brad on. Brad, talk to us, man. Louisiana takes the victory. Great team victory there, and talk about what's that vegetation that Scott's talking about in regards to the invasive pads and stuff.
It looks very similar to the dollar pad that we're all used to seeing.
Yeah,
but it has a small white flower that comes up. I mean, it's not the flower, maybe not even an inch to completely in size. And it's the stem is a little stringier than the normal dollar pad we see, and there being patches of like 2 to 4 foot shapes or sections, more than what you see the other pads, where dollar pads that cover a whole bank, but a lot of these just being spots where they're just now starting to try to take over. And I noticed when I pre-fished up in the area I was at.
Jeremy Baker saying giant Sylvania.
No, that's not it. They had the spray boats in, and they were going around documenting these spots and sitting down. Some of them were even getting out of their boats and pulling some of it up to retrieve it so they can carry it back and check to see what pesticide would be the best way to kill it the fastest. And they were doing stuff like that. The Sylvania wasn't too bad in most of the locations. I know where Dwayne Taft went, the wind had blown a lot of it in on some of his spots, but they have gotten it down to control. The winter knocked it back pretty good, but if they don't keep spraying it, for Caddo, it is hard to control it because there's so many trees, so many places the stuff can hide on the giant Savannah. Can't even say it right now.
So Brad, talk about what pattern you fished in that one, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Talk about what pattern you're on, what you saw, what adjustments you made in that matchup.
Well, I knew between Rodney and John Mooney what they were wanting to try to do, where they were wanting to and where they had the plan to go. They were wanting to try to pitch and use the vibrating jig, like jackhammer, and work trees out from the point that they went to. Wayne and I was looking at doing Cincos, chatterbaits, and buzz baits. We knew the frog might be available. We both had frogs on, but the frog hit. I wasn't we were trying to do more power fishing than the slow finesse frogging, and I think that's where it was coming in on the few of the frog hits were being a little bit slower and finessing, but you had to have that right color for that.
Yeah, I missed 4 in the morning on my frog color where they were hitting, and that's why he missed them. He said that every one that he threw, the fish were hitting like 4 to 6 inches behind it. And we would throw it out there, let it sit, give it a pop, and then they would hit where it came from. They were just coming up behind it. Like I said, the one that I caught on frog, I just got lucky that he just actually hit it, because I just threw it out there and let it sit. And he came up and hit it as I was just kind of barely moving.
So I got a question for you guys. Are we expecting a fireworks show come national championship time on that lake?
It could be. It could be very easily, because if Sylvania is down, that's going to help. Our biggest concern, talking with a lot of the locals, was that it would be strong and heavy, and it would put a bind on the championship there.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we had this cold winter come in and it knocked it down, they were in the teens, and I think single digits a time or two for almost a week, between the single digits and still below freezing for over a week. That helped kill some of it. The biggest problem with Savannah, it's got to be, they let the water down, it's got to be on the bank for it to freeze, or the area that the water is in needs to freeze.
Right.
And sorry about the dogs interrupting. He just doesn't believe fishing is that great. But after viewing it and seeing it, what I had to deal with wasn't that bad, and I was able to still fish it.
Right.
I don't know what y'all saw, Scott, over there by Johnson's. It's very strong. They sprayed it pretty hard the last 3 years there.
Oh, I mean, where I was, where I was, which is that hunting whatever area back on the other side of the Johnson. That whole area is just covered. I mean, so I knew that my team needed that 19 and 16 that I had in the bag, because I looked it up. So, okay, I need to get back. It took me 30 minutes to get out of there, and I had to paddle out. I have a paddle, I have a native, and I had to paddle out because it was so thick. And it took me 30 minutes to get out of there. And I was a little ways back there, and I could have moved over a little bit or something and tried to take a direct path where there wasn't much. As you get towards it doesn't seem like it's as bad in like the 1 to 2 foot area, but I was like, yeah, but I'm in the 2 to 3 foot, which is where I made all my catches. So as I was trying to move in, I was like, well, let me hit this tree. Oh, let me hit this tree. Oh, let me hit this tree, as I was kind of coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But it took a long time to get in. But that whole area where I was at is completely covered.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Trying to navigate in and out of that, especially with a native, for God's sake. That's the thing. He's a battle tank. So, I mean, that's a heavy boat, as Brad knows. But, yeah, it was a fun matchup to watch, man. Again, another great close matchup. I mean, Brad, we talked about it. We talked about, this format, 10 fish, and have it come down to a half inch, man. That's
I was excited when I put my fish in, and then we took the lead, and I was like, we're winning. We're winning. we're up by half. And then they were like, yeah, but someone hadn't submitted their fish. And I was like, oh. And then he comes in with his, but that very last minute one to put them up, I guess, 3/4, I think, Brad. Is that what you ended up with?
Something like that. Well, I had the same problem trying to get my fish in. And I showed you the picture of it, the 21.
Yeah.
They said 10 minutes till 12:50. Oh man, they're ahead of us. They're ahead of us. I says, oh man. I says, I'm moving. I'm going to a spot that I bypassed that I should have went to first.
Yeah.
And about the 5th cast in there, which 6 minutes into it, I was there for, so let's say 8 minutes till, 2 minutes there. I make a cast up into a foot of water, and then it exploded. I says, oh no, not a dadgum grinnell. I done caught enough of them today. We should have had a grinnell tournament. That would have been the best. But and as soon as it jumped up on the, I realized, oh no, that's a nice bass. That's a good bass. Got it to the net, got it pictured, got everything ready. And I picked the rod up, got ready to make the next cast to where I saw 2 other bass move, and bing, the time hit. And I just sat back down and says, And then the guys posted back to me. I finally got a text saying, well, how's your service? And I looked and I says, well, it's coming and going. Because I sent the text and I waited and I waited. And about the time it went ding back, I think somebody had seen it. And I
Right.
says, they're ahead of us.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it was, you know. Lisa knew I was catching. I would send her the picture of me catching because I was excited to be on a lake that, you know, I don't ever fish and catch a fish, but I would send it to her just as a selfie picture, but she wouldn't get it for 10 to 15 minutes. And I wasn't going to sit there and try and upload to Fishing Chaos while it's, because I think
Spinning and
someone
spinning.
told me that it just
I had
keeps running
that.
your battery.
Yeah.
Keeps running your battery.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, again,
And
that was a
so-
fun, guys. That was a fun matchup to watch. Another great one. Both teams, just fought hard. Louisiana does take that victory, and that brought Louisiana, I believe, at that point they were 1-2, and then Arkansas it fell down to 1-3. So a little tough loss there from Arkansas Hogs. I don't think both of you guys have any playoff aspirations at this point, but you got to finish out the season, man, for pride and start being some spoilers. In some of these matchups. Arkansas, let's see. Arkansas Hogs are hosting Southeast Texas Rough Riders on Lake Conway in Texas coming up next week. And Louisiana, I believe, is facing the Lone Star Bandits at Lone Star. And so that's going to be fun. I think that's going to be at Athens. It's going to be Athens. Yep.
That's a small
and that's going to be fun to watch.
Let me go ahead and say this, Greg. Technically, you're not completely out of it yet.
No,
Right.
no one's completely out of it.
If the Privateers lose out, the Rough Riders lose out, that means a lot of teams are 3-3.
Yes.
And 3-3 means it's going to come down to your point spread. So you're going to need some big point spread wins.
Well, speaking of Lone Star Bandits, here they are. This is Jeff Isham. He in Louisiana are having the Lone Star Bandits and Louisiana are going to be having a little showdown. They had one this past Sunday as a makeup match on Lake Conway, and very interesting.
Like Caney.
Like Shim. Like where was it, Brad?
I'm sorry, Lake Caney. I'm sorry, Lake Caney.
Caney
my
Creek.
apologies. Yeah, Caney Creek. And then so it was a rematch. They take Lone Star Bandits takes the win. They are undefeated, one of the three undefeated teams in the KFL.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Isham had a fantastic day. Jeff, congratulations on staying undefeated, my friend.
Thank you.
Talk about Sunday, man.
It was a little tougher, I guess, than I thought it was going to be. I got out and got on the water a little bit Saturday. Didn't have a good practice at all, but I did go. I went to places I'd never been, so I was trying to find a plan B in case I needed it. Didn't do well in practice, but then got Sunday, got on the water. We had talked as a team what we were catching them on, what our plan was. I launched in a different area than the other two guys on my team and got out on the water. I have about a 45-second trip to my spot. So I got there, sitting there looking around and just thought the conditions were right to try a little technique that I actually picked up from the Louisiana team the last time we were out there. And conditions seemed right for it, so I decided I would try that. And
was that the wacky rig jerkbait?
No.
Oh,
I think they call it fun fishing or something like that.
We're gonna let you go, man. Great job over the weekend, man. We're gonna let you go, bud.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Scott.
No, Jeff.
No, Jeff, he got up to get him a drink. He's good.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like, I didn't mean to let do that. But yeah, we're well, Jason, we're gonna talk to you, man, while Jeff gets a drink, man.
All right.
Talk about it, man. Taking the victory.
It was pretty nice. Luckily, Jeff showed up and showed out. So a lot of missed opportunities. I had I went to the same spot I went to originally the first time, and I was using the graph because that lake, the bass do not cling to the grass. So, in my opinion, if you didn't have electronics, you were in a world of hurt. So, but like I said, it's just my opinion. A lot of people can fish without them. But this past year, I bought a hummingbird, and everywhere I go, I've tried to stay away from the banks and fish deep so I can learn how to do all that. But the first time we were there and scouting the lake, first day ever I was there, marked several spots, and we probably, my goodness, probably went 6, 7, 8, 9 miles that day, just looking around. And the very next day, went back and pulled up on that couple of spots that I'd marked, and there was brim beds and a bunch of timber and a ledge beside it. And my best 5 fish for that, I think before noon, was 102 something. So I thought, well, that's where I'm going back, right? And
Yeah.
So game day, this past game day, went back and there was fish all over, brim on the beds, brim or bass on the timber. There was bass hitting the top of the water. They were chasing perch. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but I thought it was a bunch of gar, but it was brim. They were chasing brim, eating them.
Hey,
And,
Jason, what was your water temp you were seeing?
That morning, I believe it was like 80, 88 maybe, if I remember right.
So do you think the brim were actually spawning, or they're just hanging around those brim beds? I mean, that's a little warm, right? That's a little late for them to be spawning.
It was warm. I mean,
I saw some on the beds also, and about
they
a
were on
foot
the
of
beds.
water. And some of them were even in six inches of water, the beds.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, they were on the bed because they were guarding them pretty hard.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because you could throw a drop shot out there on them and run that worm through there, and they just boop, 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 hit it real hard, real quick, rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
But I caught the one, 16 and a half. And after that, I missed, about 3 or 4 fish. The wind finally picked up, and I'd cast it across my body. And I was trying to turn the Hobie around and had a good hard hit, solid hit. And I tried to set the hook with my one arm in the air across my body. And of course, that ain't going to work.
Right.
When it's a solid hook set, but I was desperate.
So it looks like, like John Mooney was on the lake last time. He says more like a recreational lake. It was very difficult, or very difficult lake to fish. I mean, it was, it looked like, from the numbers it was. I mean, it's very difficult to fish. I mean,
I would say where Jason and Jeff were, they didn't have as much. I don't think so. The ski boats and the tubers, they were staying down by the levee and did pretty much down there. I'm not saying they didn't have the boat traffic, because there was traffic everywhere.
Yeah.
At one point, I was in the boat lane because that's right on that creek channel.
So mine was the exact opposite. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good. Mm-hmm.
I was back in the back, and I literally did not have a boat, a kayak, a jet ski, anything all day. I'm on the back side of a bridge, and a couple of boats would come through the bridge, but they would come through because I guess it's the only on water gas pump. They would come in, get gas, and go out. I never had anybody within a half a mile of me all day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's relaxing for sure. Well, guys, I have to ask you guys a question, man. I mean, just straight up, man. There's been a lot of stuff going on with your team this year, man. No doubt. But to stay undefeated, to put all that aside, and to continue to put up victories, that has got to feel like satisfying, man. There's no doubt about it, man. With all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes and trying to get everything coordinated and, just whatever it is. But you guys, it's impressive, man. I mean, you guys are absolutely holding the ship and maintaining this undefeated flag, and you guys could host the entire South Division championship all the way through Texas, man. And that's going to be very difficult to beat, man. What do you guys say about that, man? What are you guys doing? I mean, you guys are an amazing collective group of men to do all that, man.
I would say that the team. I mean, not our team specifically. I think all teams. It's like a family, and adversity will do one of two things to you: it'll wreck you, or it'll bring you closer together. And I feel like it's definitely got us closer together. We're all on the same page. We're just a well-oiled fishing machine, if you want to call it that.
There ain't no doubt about that, man. No doubt about that. I mean, it's just impressive. Kind of looking from the outside in, man. It's just, it's just one of those things you got to look at. It's just incredible. And you guys are so diverse in your fishing abilities, and I mean, you guys are hard to beat. I mean, no matter where you guys travel well. You guys obviously defend well. You're undefeated, and I mean, you guys are just,
Who are we talking about? Are we talking about the Norfolk Privateers right now? Is that who we're talking about?
No, we said the undefeated teams. We said undefeated.
Oh, my bad. Undefeated.
Yeah, that would be the Lone Star Bandits.
The undefeated teams, they haven't been tested. They don't have any character. You got to lose one to have some character. I put that out there earlier.
Well, then I got a lot of character on ours.
No one has more character than us.
You win.
But,
you win, sir. You win.
Yes.
Yeah. The Bandits said they only had 3 guys available, and Brad decided let's fish 3-on-3, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
I said, well, we could have done the better, and it worked out fine. I think Jeff put up the first fish pretty quick, and then Jason came back with a big one there that locked it in. I only had, and the thing I can say for the team is the people that are, for all of it, the people that are fishing clean, not losing any fish, are doing great. But still, I fished clean the last 3 tournaments, not losing fish, not doing that, and it doesn't matter. You can still fish clean and still not make the top, because if you only catch 2 fish or 3 fish or 4, or like at Saturday, I caught over 10 fish, didn't have but 1 miss, and it wasn't but an 8-inch fish because I saw the sucker when it came up, had the skirt. It doesn't matter. You can fish clean all day long, but if you don't have the size, the 14 and above, the good fish, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Or finding the good fish.
Right.
And,
for that lake to have, I mean, it's got a reputation for big fish. I mean, I'm sure Louisiana saw the same thing we did. They were having 3 fish tournaments out there, boat tournaments, and it's 26 pounds. We're winning a 3 fish tournament, and so there's big fish out there. But I mean, I had to go. I probably caught 15 fish Saturday. But but there's
26 pounds on 3 fish. Wow.
Yeah. But like Brad was saying, there's you got to go through a lot of small fish to get those fish that that are submitted.
You look at Louisiana's top fish for the state of Louisiana. Out of the top 20 fish bass caught in the state of Louisiana, I think 11 of them have come from that lake.
Yeah,
that's insane. That's big time.
I mean, that's also bass fishing, man. Like even on our home waters, everybody's home waters. You can go out there and catch, 20+ pound sack, and then you can go out there another day and catch 1 fish that weighs, 12 ounces.
Yep.
That's a lure of this sport. That's for me. I love the challenge of it because you can be on them. You can be killing them on practice. The last day of practice on this pattern that's rock solid. Come tournament day, that pattern is dead, and you're like, I don't know what's happening. You got to make those adjustments, and I give it to all you anglers on every team, man. All you guys make adjustments. You do what you have to do to catch fish and win the game.
Right.
Well, what was strange was I feel like we caught fish through practice and the tournament, but for some reason the fish were, like you're saying, bigger in practice. I mean, I think we all had some good sized fish in practice, and it didn't seem like the bite slowed down. It just seemed like what the fish we were getting were significantly smaller.
It's Saturday or Sunday, I mean, they just know, man. They just shut down the buffet, and there's like, screw it, man.
I think part of it was because it was on a Sunday. The Saturday crew had already been out there and worked them pretty hard.
Yeah.
And so I think that made a little bit of difference on us.
Yeah, could have.
Well, I'll say this: I've become a fan of whoever's facing the Bandits for the rest of the season.
Well, that would be Louisiana. I'm
up again this Saturday.
Yeah,
Brad, I'm on you guys' team. All right, third time.
Believe, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong. KFL gets to have the opportunity to have the debut of the one and the only Clifton Allen. Is that true?
That is very true.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, Clifton's
And if he
actually
doesn't
gonna
come on
fish?
air, if he doesn't
Good
come on
luck.
air,
He better bring.
I'm gonna make sure he does.
he
He better
has
bring
to.
his ass on air, Jason. Clifton, if you watching, you better bring your ass on air, bro.
Heck yeah!
I just got to get the rest of the guys to babasit him while they're out there, though.
Well,
Wait,
And-
so you're gonna have all four of y'all, or the other three right around him the whole time?
May have to.
I was hoping I was going to have all four of us, one on each side and front and back of him, just out of, just saying, well, we wanted to watch you fish. We're not worried about the tournament. We just want to watch you fish.
I want to see it.
Pressure on him.
Hey,
And
by the way,
people-
I did not
you better
realize
not-
how big Clifton Allen is. He's 6'7".
Yeah,
He's a big guy.
That's
Is
a
he really
big dude.
6'7"?
he's a tall drink of water.
He is.
I mean, I
Legit.
don't want to drink from that glass.
No,
You keep that glass to yourself, Mr. Allen.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
what I will say. If you blank, Clifton, sir.
Oh
if
my
you
God, it'll be the end of it.
Blank. Don't
Yeah.
go back on KBN.
Oh yeah,
Well,
no,
yeah.
no. Yeah.
No, again, man, congratulations. I mean, you bandits. I knew you guys were gonna be tough from the beginning. Before the season started, man, we heard the lineup, man. Knew you guys are gonna be tough. You're gonna be amazing, and I'm hoping for a loss. That way, I can slide into first place maybe, and don't have to go to Texas to face you guys. But I mean, I'll relish the challenge. I'd love to come down there and clip off of Jeff Isham's dreads and take it home and trophy.
It'll be back to the old saying is, how big a man are you?
Hey, well, I'm pretty big. I'm 6'1", 300 pounds. So
Well, Lone Star takes the victory 128 to 90.75. The rematch will come again here Saturday on Athens, and it's an away game for Louisiana, but we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be fun.
hey, it's hard to beat a team 3 times, man. I'm just letting you know. In
It
every
is.
sport, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. And Brad Case has got some animosity he wants to get off his chest. I'm just letting you know.
That's right. That's right. Well, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you, guys. We got some more folks to talk. Thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate y'all. Good luck Saturday. It's going to be fun to
good
watch.
luck, fellas. Good luck,
Thank
fellas.
you.
Good luck.
I'm a fan of all you, just to be honest.
Well, I hate to say it. The first time I didn't call it a beat, so that might not be the animosity we're looking for. Because I had a bunch of the guys just paddling around watching, and I told them we still needed to fish for points. We didn't know how the outcome was going to go, but that's just how it went. But we got our techniques laid out for this next weekend, this Saturday. We got our inner tube set up. We got our ice chest ready to go in them, and we're just going to float around and watch everybody.
Hey, I vote for next season that we remove the rule from KFL that you can't drink during the tournaments.
No, I can't go with that one. I got to have my Mountain Dew and Coke.
I hear you.
I mean, I'm gonna need all the bandits to be intoxicated. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I fish better when I'm intoxicated. So
Well, you're gonna be on the side. That's gonna be a game you're not fishing, Jason. All right, you're not allowed that game.
All right, I'll see y'all guys Saturday. If I don't
Okay,
see you
guys.
Friday night somewhere.
Yep.
Thanks, fellas.
Thank
Thank
y'all. Take care.
Y'all have
Bye-bye.
a good night.
Oh man, that crew is going to be something else.
And man, that's why I love doing this. Just getting to meet everybody and talk shop, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. Who we got next, man? Who we got next? You over here, you doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't understand what you did. And then he left. Well,
let's do this.
Back. I don't understand what you were doing, Greg. I mean, I don't know what the hell you just did.
My whole freaking computer's all screwed up. Let's get Alabama on, guys.
Okay,
let's
that's
get
what I thought.
Alabama. Yeah,
That's
let's
what I
get
thought.
Alabama.
Then you brought the other guy on. I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't.
no. Let's get Alabama on. Alabama Hammers, what's going on, boys?
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Another undefeated team.
The last of the undefeated teams.
Yes. Dan Perry, Chuck Wise took care of business this weekend against Indianapolis, man. And, another Neely Henry victory. How's it feel to be undefeated?
Yeah,
Coley was
Coley
here,
might
but he
jump on
left.
in a second. He was
Yeah.
just at doing a politician thing down at town hall. So
Oh, Lord.
He must be in his uniform.
He should be arresting that politician, whoever that politician is.
Yeah, I mean,
we had a good week. Defended the house and went up against a really good Indy team. Was able to go out and have dinner with them, and that was cool. And we just Coley put up 5 like usual because that's I mean, Coley's
doing Coley
the
things.
best angler in the country on that lake. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he's a stick no matter where he goes, but nobody in the country is beating him on that lake, and that's one of the reasons that we chose it as our home lake, because we knew we had such an advantage here.
As your sole home lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's awesome.
we did that too because we were hoping for a local sponsor there. It ended up not panning out this year, but that was another reason that we chose just one lake. But Chuck did great, and yeah, I put up 3, so we had a good week.
It'll probably pan out next year with you guys, undefeated and all. And I'll say it out here, and no disrespect to anybody who you're facing, but it looks like you may end the season undefeated. I mean, the momentum you guys have.
We had a thing. We have 2 road games, but I mean, can I say what happened, Greg?
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about it. We've got a game in question here coming up this week, man. But yeah, I mean, we could certainly talk about it for sure.
Yeah. So what happened to us is one of the guys that came to town, he tested positive for COVID once he went back home. Not on our team, but on India's team.
Yeah.
And they so this week we're not going to be able to fish. So, I mean, none of us are showing symptoms, but we understand that there can be a certain amount of time, so we're being held back, so we're not going to get to fish, which that for us is, I mean, we're all like pretty destroyed right now that we felt like, because that puts y'all at an advantage in Norfolk, we feel like. I mean, I'm not saying it's unfair. I'm saying now whenever we go to Florida, it puts more of an emphasis on that, because if we lose in Florida, we go from first place to third place rather than first place to second, because this week we wouldn't be able to make up, even if let's say we won in Indy, if we were lucky enough to add against a great team, we wouldn't be able to gain any win-loss points. So we would, and if y'all gain points this week, we would be behind. So even if we lose that one game, now it puts us from first to third. So we're I mean, we understand it, but it doesn't make it easy pill to swallow, I guess.
Well, we're still trying to work the logistics out on that, trying to figure that out so that that's not the case. And Greg's working with you guys, and as well as
we have a couple options here. I mean, I'll tell. I mean, it's no big deal. We'll talk about it. I mean, we're asking Indy to at least, if everything tests negative with you guys, send, and Indy has some alternates. Send whoever you can, 2, 3, however many players that you can, and then you guys can send whoever you can to face them, or maybe meet halfway in between. Just play the game. If that's not the case, then we'll ask Indy if they can't perform and you guys can perform, then it's a forfeit by Indy. And if that doesn't happen, then the game will have to be rescheduled after the regular season. We push down the playoffs, and that way you guys have an opportunity to compete. After Florida. So we would have to push down the playoffs a week and make it happen. Either way, we're going to try to make the game happen, or try to figure this out. So none of the 3 options are fantastic, but we want to make sure that you guys have the best opportunity for a 6-game season, as well as given fairness to Lone Star as well as Norfolk. So we're trying to work it all out.
We're trying to work it all out so that it's just fair, man. I mean, honestly, I don't have a, I'm not a person who sets what's going to happen, but I would feel like if the team who contracted COVID can't put players on the field, but the opposite team can, then maybe that team has to forfeit. But like I said, it's up to that man right there to my other side, as well as the rules committee, as well as the owners, to figure out where we go from here.
Yeah,
but
it's such a weird situation because
it is.
It's only been a couple days, so we Lord willing, we don't come down with COVID. But
well, and that's the thing too. I don't want to sound insensitive. Look, our first and foremost concern is you guys. It has to be. We want to protect you guys. That's the last thing that we wanted. We do have COVID protocols, believe it or not, in our agreements on how to handle it and what to do. But we're so much far down at the regular season, we just don't have any room to really maneuver bye weeks and stuff like that, because there are no longer any bye weeks. So, but again, we're going to try to work it out the best we can. And again, we really want you guys to have a 6th game, because let's just say if it was Washington Warhawks, it wouldn't have mattered. Okay, I mean it is what it is. But since you guys are undefeated, you're in first place. There's a lot of implications with other teams that are either below you or with you that it could affect the entire division. So we've got to work it out.
And Norfolk is coming, by the way. So,
and quite frankly, guys, look, and we can get Coley involved, but quite frankly, guys, you guys want to compete. You know what I mean?
Coley,
you guys want to compete.
Cole, you're a fan of Norfolk. I want to hear it.
If we have to go up to Norfolk and whoop y'all with your half-inch prediction last week, we'll do what we need to do.
Did you see the motivation that was inspired right there?
Should not
with
have
your
said
half-inch prediction.
You lit Coley up.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you see what he did.
Hey,
So you should say
Alabama
thank
and
you.
Norfolk in a championship. Who's Texas?
That's
the
right.
real matchup right there. That's the real matchup. Alabama and Norfolk. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not going to tell you that. So I'm not going to tell you that.
Well, Norfolk might not make the playoffs if they go on a 2-game skid. If we have something to do with it.
Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually fishing in the next 2. So the only one we've lost is the one I didn't fish in. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
I'm not saying anything. I'm just a good luck charm. I'm not that great of a fisherman. I'm a good luck charm.
Cole, you've been on fire, man. You've gotten Angler of the Week now twice in a row, man. Dude, you're absolutely just slaying Neely Henry. It's coming down to your knees, man. I mean, talk about this, man. I mean, the fish are just dancing on your bowl. What's going on, man?
It's not been as easy as what we've all made it look. I mean, I think as a whole, we all of us did good as far as putting fish on the board this past weekend. We've made it look easier than it really was on the water, but I mean, we were so spread out. I mean, we had guys everywhere. I mean, we had guys covering all depths, areas. I mean, we were very well rounded, I feel like, and I think that's what helped us. Because I mean, those Indiana guys, they were on them. I mean, they were catching good fish, and I mean, it worked out the way it did. But I mean, as a
Coley,
team,
Coley, you know what you sound like right now, Coley? You sound like the guy who caught 105 inches and said it was a grind.
He got 172 inches.
Yeah, or that
172 and a half, I believe.
Or that boater, the boater who pulls in with a 40-pound sack and says, today was a grind. I really didn't get a lot of bites. You got 40 pounds, bro. Ain't no.
It's tough fishing with this team because, like, at the end of the day, I caught a 1675 and it didn't help. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, like you can't. Again, knock on wood, we're going to have a bad tournament. It's hopefully we don't, but we haven't come up to a place to where in any of our tournaments where we were looking for a limit. We've had the luxury of just looking for big fish. So
yeah.
Well,
I mean, look, all three of you guys. Coley, you led the board at 172 1/4. Dan, you were at 101 1/4, and then Chuck, I mean, you're at 84. I mean, you were ninth. 3 guys in the top 10 right here, man, in performances. That's hard to beat, man. Any team that has 3 of their 4 guys in the top 10, shoot, dude, that's gonna be tough.
And had more fish, but they didn't help, so I didn't put them up.
There was a couple I didn't weigh in. It would have got me over 100.
Oh, really? There's a couple you didn't weigh in.
Well, the 16 wouldn't help anymore.
Just a 17-inch dink drop, no big deal.
All right, why don't you email me that 16? You know what I'm saying?
I
would have died for a 16 out there. Trust me.
I mean, it's tough from here on out because all the home games are done now. It's just 2 road games. So
the great thing is that all you guys have showed that you can fish. So not just on Neely Henry. So I don't want to hear nothing about no home games. You've had some road wins. So
you did the first thing. You protected the house. You've won a road game. Now you got to go back, back to back on the road, and hopefully again we'll get that other game rescheduled and something will happen, man. So but the ball's in your court, guys, and you know what? You have the opportunity to control everything. I mean, control the pathway, and where people are going to come and go, and I wouldn't be wanting to be in any better position than that, man. You control your own destiny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one for talking smack, but God help you if you got to come to Neely Henry for the playoffs because
I don't want to come. I don't want to come, Dan.
Oh, it's a fun lake. You'll catch a bunch of 16s.
I don't want to come to Neely Henry.
No,
okay?
but really, Indy and Florida, and Stephen Bell. I mean, they all came here and they caught a lot of fish. They did good.
You know what? Let's go Copperheads.
They come on,
Yeah.
don't do that. But they,
let's go Copperhead. First off, I mean, I want to be real, Dan.
160 plus. So I mean, it's both those teams came here and put it on us. It's not like just because we did really well, both those teams they should hold their heads high because they did really well too. So it's
I just want to be real with you, Dan. I am definitely so Florida. You guys facing Florida in Florida. That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
And being a team that's in the same division that's actually in a competitive spot right now, unlike the guy over there. I'm rooting for them because I need you to lose and I need to be able to catch you in the point spread so that I don't want to come to Neely Henry. I see what Coley's done week in, week out. I see what the other Coley, the other McGowan, I can't even think right now. Lance Coley has been doing week in, week out. I saw what Chuck's done. I saw what you're doing. I don't want to come to Neely Henry. I'm sorry. I don't want to come. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope it drains and there's no more water left in it. I don't know.
Yeah. The second best angler in the country on Neely Henry is Lance. So,
exactly. See exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah.
They're one too. So I mean, I'm not going to say who's the best, but yeah,
the Coleys.
So, somebody with the name.
They should
Coley
call it Coley Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey,
Conrad, going to
Conrad, whip that ass, bro.
Hey, I heard Maximo passed away. He ain't, he's Conrad's going to be in mourning, so he won't be able to show up for the tournament. They might have to forfeit.
Something like that.
What's the fun of being a spoiler?
All that aside,
trust me, we're gonna have a ton of fun. You'll know it's gonna be a ton of fun this weekend.
All that aside, man, you guys have already clinched the playoffs, so you have that in the back of your head, knowing that hey, regardless of what happens in the regular season, you're still going to be in the playoffs, and you're still going to have a fighting chance. It's a great spot to be in, especially when I'm on the outside looking in and trying to get there.
Yeah.
It's a great spot to be in.
Lone Star obviously is going to be a big player in this in terms of rooting for Florida. But I mean, you guys, it's going to be it's a three-way battle is how I see it. Between you, Norfolk, and Texas. It's good. It's gonna be fun. Just kind of see how this all shakes out. I mean, again, you got to keep just like Detroit. You guys got to keep your nose into the grindstone. Don't give up, man, and finish this thing, man.
I honestly feel like Dan, Chuck, Coley, and all the other hammers who are not watching from your team or who are watching from your team. I honestly feel like your team and our team and my team were counted out when they looked at the Southern Division and the teams that were in the Southern Division. They're like, those teams weren't going to be the ones vying for it at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember in the beginning somebody saying, I don't know any of these guys, so I don't know how they're going to do. I'll choose somebody else. All right.
I don't know how they don't know Dan Perry. He's got one of the best broadcasts in the country, so I don't know how they don't know you.
We're okay with being the underdogs.
Yeah. Dan, if I was to ask you one thing, man, what is the key? What do you think the key was or is to your undefeated season so far?
The team. I mean, honestly, I think it was whenever we me and John set up the team initially. Because this is a first game for Chuck. Chuck is leading angler a year in our local club. I mean, he is fished at Auburn. He's as good as anybody else out there. And our team, the way we made it so diverse. We made people who are good at grass and river and lakes and deep anglers. And, everybody has their specialty at what they're best at. And whenever it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to this lake, so I need grass guys. Yeah. It's the people who are going to go find something different than everybody else. Whenever you're only trying to catch 10 fish for a whole team, you need somebody doing different things, not always overlapping each other.
Yeah, that's good. John Lessman says you're lying. It's his cooking.
Yes.
There we go.
All right, boys, I'm back in it. I got
Wi-Fi
now.
Oh, he's got Wi-Fi now.
John
there we go.
Take care of us.
Chuck, what do you say, man? What do you this is your first event, but I mean, first of all, welcome to KFL, man. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think, looking from the outside in? What do you think the key to your success is this year?
Man, a lot of it's just to do with the mind. Like Dan said, you got to catch 10 fish with 4 people. You're going for the bigs.
Yeah.
So it actually, and it took me a minute to adjust. Like I started catching, I started catching them quick and fast and early. But they were all like little squeakers, like 14 and a half, 16, and I knew that those weren't going to help. So, essentially just, you have to change your mindset a little bit. Like, okay, I don't need to catch a limit. I need to go catch some giants. That's how I think about it.
It's
good. Fun though. I love the team aspect. Me and Dan were talking about it the other day, like fishing with your buddy in a boat is completely different than this right here. It's just a totally different feeling altogether.
It is. It is. When, I mean, as I said, Coley, what do you think, man?
I mean, I think it's cool because I mean, like, you got to go into it as like Chuck said, you're looking for big fish, obviously. But I told him, hey, I can put up a decent limit, and I knew Chuck and Dan and Jeremy are bound to run into a big fish throughout the day at some point. I mean, they always do. And, and we both talked, and I think that was the biggest thing of going into it was teamwork, like, areas specifically, that we all talked about, like, well, where do we need to be? Who needs to go where? What area kind of fits whose, style, I guess, so to speak. And I think we did it right. I mean, I think, what Dan went and fished, I mean, Dan hammered them. I think, what Chuck did, Chuck hammered them. And Jeremy caught some fish too. But I mean, that's the thing is, like what Chuck was saying is, I mean, shoot, a lot of places you go 14, 15 inches, are decent fish. And then, by mid-morning, I mean, that when we done cold, most of our fish by lunch, later in the morning. So it was like catching 14 and 15 inches was like not even helping,
Yeah,
So,
wow.
You're wasting your time in the morning if you're fishing for keepers. You have lost time whenever you should have been focusing on big fish.
All right, before
I caught a 16 incher and then I was like, I gotta leave, and went up and just I took out and I went way upriver. I was fishing in the creek, caught a couple 16s. Like, this ain't gonna do it. I'm out. You would never do that on a normal tournament.
Never.
So
You're right.
before we let you guys go, man, I need to know how much motivation did I provide you guys when I said it was going to be a half-inch game?
Well, I know you lit a fire under my ass.
It was lit.
Let's put it that way, because I was like, no, he didn't. My boy didn't do me like that. I was like, man, like,
y'all ever seen that Michael Jordan 30 for 30 where he takes everything as a slight? That's Coley.
Yeah.
You could look at Coley wrong and be like, I'm going to murder you.
You said a half inch?
Wow, that's awesome.
So you're welcome.
Every game of the week, but he just said a half an inch. Like, man, like.
So you're welcome. But it was a close matchup. It wasn't at all by any means. Nowhere you look at it, like the matchups y'all have done, y'all have murdered some teams this year.
Well, aren't you glad that Jigmaster doesn't set the odds?
Somebody would have made a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been Vegas.
You know who would have made a lot of money? This guy.
No.
I would have bet against what I said.
Yeah, no kidding.
Again, congrats to Andy. They came here
to
put up over 160. Those guys are legit and all good guys.
And they are legit. And we hope that they have wellness and don't have COVID and all that stuff, man. We don't want all that to happen, man. So again, right. we'll kind of figure out all this this whole thing, man. It's unfortunate that this came up with the team or the two teams, and guys, be safe, be healthy, and we'll get this worked out and get you 6 games.
Go get tested.
Coley's in Neely Henry so much. He's actually immune to it, and I think he actually gave it to them. So.
It's all because I said a half inch that Coley's immune to
right.
it.
All I care about is Greg make it happen that Norfolk comes down here and we spank them. That's all I want. That can be our makeup game. If Indiana's cool with it, that can be our makeup game right there.
There you go. Exactly. As a replacements, right? But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully they'll make it. You know, you never know. Norfolk's got to earn it, man. They got to
We
earn it.
do
They
have
just
to.
can't show up.
We're still on the outside looking in. We got to earn
Yeah,
it.
they got to earn it.
Hey,
So
go Warhawks.
yeah, you better believe it. Go Warhawks. It's going to happen.
You know what? You know what you just did? Remember what I did to you the other?
That's
Okay.
right.
Heck,
Go get
Greg,
'em.
Go Warhawks.
Warhawks
Got
will
it.
win by, let's say, half an inch.
Oh, Dan, don't do them like that. Give them a quarter of an inch.
So everyone, that was the Copperheads. We'll like to say goodbye to them. Y'all have a good night.
Oh my gosh. Well, guys, have a great night, man. Thanks for coming on, y'all.
That's messed
Take
up,
care.
man. Really?
Boys, have a great night. Thanks for coming on.
We'll see y'all
later.
See you guys. Bye. Oh man, that's funny. All right, let's get this next batch up, man. This was a grinder, dude, and grinder. These boys pulled it out the victory, man. The Carolina Casters against Tar Heel Lunkers. Eric Nelson and Stephen Bell, man. What the heck happened down there, man? Talk about it.
Battle of the Carolina team.
Yeah, on Jordan, Lake Jordan of all places.
Yeah,
and it was shut down.
It was all.
It was. Except for the first and second place guys went right by where I was going. They went to where I should have went. So I stopped and I hit a point early in the morning thinking I might get one there, and nope. And then so by the time I got to where I wanted to start, they were already there, or one of the guys was anyway. So it was pretty brutal. But then I got into a school of small fish, but I went to that spot specifically to find the big fish. So I kept pulling out 13 and a half. I was like, no, come on. So it was tough. And I finally I caught about 7 fish total, I think, and that was it. And the last 3 or 4 were at least keepers. So
yeah, I saw Steven post. I think it was Steven who posted, said thanks to Eric Nelson for winning this matchup for us. I think, was it you, Steven, who posted that? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a grinder, man. Jordan Lake is not a lake that, if you don't know Jordan Lake,
Jordan Lake's a top 10 bass
yeah, that's
lake
what I was about to
according
say.
to Bassmaster. I
For
mean,
people
and
who don't
to
know
have it,
Jordan Lake, it's not a shitty lake. It's not a small fish lake or a hard lake. No,
it's a big fish lake, and the guys who won the tournament that day that were there, he had 99 inches, and the second
I saw that
94. So yeah, they were both in there, in the same area of the lake that I was at, but I just got stuck with small schools. I couldn't find a big one.
So I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, like Florida just went through this KBBT tournament. We were talking about the teams event. We were on that show this tonight, and Florida was kind of stuck in this lull too, man. Like nature wasn't moving, man. It just like not a breath of wind, just nothing going on, man, and everything just completely shut down. Do you think this is now the time? Being summertime, like you could go out right now, like 9:30, and absolutely slaughter them. Do you think it's a night bite going on, or are they just hiding deep, or they just they don't want to touch it during the day?
I never do well at night, and since I've been in North Carolina, I've never had a good night fishing. So, summer didn't matter. I just never had any luck. As soon as the sun would come up after staying up all night, I'd start smashing them. So it's an early morning bite, I think, mainly. And there's the big ones are schooled up. You just got to find them. So
yeah.
So Steven, same question to you, but also I want to know in that matchup, you fished that matchup, correct?
I did.
Yeah, in that matchup, was it a thing of not getting bites, or did you not fish clean? Like, I want to know how it went.
Man, I caught small ones. I lost a ton of fish. Like, I just couldn't get a hook in them. They wouldn't hit hard.
Right.
I went there the other week, practiced. They were hammering it. I caught nice bass. We got there Saturday. It rained. I just couldn't get it to happen. Like the first 7 bass I hooked, I lost every one of them. But as far as night bite, I catch more bass at night this time of the year than I do during the day. I'd rather fish at night.
Man, Normally, summertime fishing, that's what I would say. Night. I mean, I've learned the last 2 years that night bite is much better than daytime bite for me in my experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same for me. I'll catch, I'll catch bigger bass at night and more of them. Like I've caught several 7, 8, 9 pound bass at night. I've caught a lot during the day too, but most
What's your bait du jour at night, man? Black worm, spinnerbait, chatterbait.
black jitterbug.
Hold on. Pause.
Did you say
sir.
jitterbug?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pause, sir.
I mean-
Did you really just say jitterbug?
Hey, listen, the 60s are calling. They want their jitterbug back.
Wow.
Jitterbug has caught me a 10 pound bass at night, and I can't
Wow.
eat 9 pound bass.
Wow.
So
Man.
That's
I
it.
got to clap for that, bro.
Yeah.
Jitterbug. I haven't used a jitterbug in probably 20 years.
I got 7 of them in my tackle box right now.
Do they even still make the jitterbug?
They do.
Is that something they do? Okay.
Mhm.
Maybe I need to hit up Tackle Warehouse and order some jitterbugs.
No kidding. Wow. At night, man. That's
So I want to hear real quick from you, Steven. Tell me about the one that you lost. The fish that you lost that could have made a huge difference. I know there's one.
Oh yeah, there was one. The first one.
The first one. Oh.
Yeah, I threw in a treetop. I was using a jerk bait with a spinner on the tail, popping it across. It was lightly raining, and it followed it. And when it got near the kayak, it squatted at it, but it didn't get a hook. I was like, man, it's got 3 sets of treble hooks. Fish never even got it, and it was probably a 5 or 6 pound bass. And then after that, it was all little ones.
So did you put that spinner on the tail, or was that a jerk like you bought it that way?
Oh, it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric?
I don't know that I had big ones that got away, but I had a bunch get away that I never got to see. So I had 3 nip a chatterbait but not eat it, and I had probably 4 or 5 times that I brought an empty hook back and they just had the worm.
Yeah.
So,
guys, I mean, your season has been a season of ups and downs. I mean, there's no doubt about it, man. I mean, talk about you guys. I think you guys beat Florida, right? You guys, when Florida came, you guys beat Florida, which is a quality win. You beat Tar Heel Lunkers, who just went into Norfolk and beat them. I mean, this whole division, you guys are flipping back and forth, man. I mean, you guys are beating quality teams, and then you just had some just not so good performances as well, man. I mean, it's season ups and downs. I mean, talk about that,
Yeah, it's been tough. Like it seems like either Steven or I are on fire, and we can't get on the same fire on the same day.
It's either one of you guys, right? Doing that. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it's just been. Seems like it's been like tough bite everywhere we go.
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
tell me about it. I still remember our 28-0 loss to West Virginia. That still sticks in my craw.
I mean, that's pretty. That will stick in my craw too, isn't it?
Yeah, I want that game back so bad.
That Alabama one killed me because that was the pre-fishing was. I figured something out, and then just they weren't there. They weren't there on Saturday. So you're kidding me.
Yeah,
that sounds like Greg. It sounds like Greg and this
100%, man,
matchup.
dude. I'm telling you, DVD is going to fly off the shelves, man. About pre-fishing king being a pre-fishing king, how to pre-fish and not perform in tournaments, man. That's my jam.
I have a hard question for you guys. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. But being that you are out of the playoff picture, what's the motivation for the rest of the games?
I still don't like to lose. I don't care if we make the playoffs or not.
I like that, Steven.
Yeah,
and I love to fish, and anytime I can fish, I'm going to do it.
I love it.
Right now, I was out today fishing, and I just can't give up. I don't care if I make the playoffs or not.
Right.
Yeah.
You owe it to other teams too. You owe it to other teams to do the work.
Right. I've said it before. I kind of hoped that Tar Heel won because I think they had a better chance, but I wasn't going to let them win.
No,
actually,
it ain't happening. Nope.
Now
But
that I look,
my motivation yesterday was actually, or Saturday, was to get into that big fish deal.
now that
yeah,
I
the tank,
look,
the
though,
tank tournament. Yep.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
that
we're
I
gonna
look,
announce all
though,
that tomorrow.
Win, but I wanted to get a big fish, and that's why I went offshore where I went. I was hoping to land and get into a big pile.
Yeah.
Now that I look, though, technically you're not out of the playoff picture. If the privateers lose out and the Rough Riders lose out, you could wind up in the playoffs if you win out. Which I guess you only have one more game, so you have to get back to 500, and you have a chance of making the playoffs in that wild card spot. So,
yeah,
never give up.
Don't get me wrong; it's a perfect storm scenario, but
it's a perfect. Yeah. There's like 0.2% chance, but you say there's a chance. You know what I mean?
Chance.
But you're saying there's a chance. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna have to drive down to Florida at the end of the week.
Yeah,
That's right.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Who is going to Florida with you guys?
Well, let's see. I have Heath.
Is that Heath? That is Heath.
And Arlie.
Yeah.
Arlie
knows Florida.
Yeah.
Arlie knows Florida.
Yeah. And my son was coming, but they got tested positive for COVID, so there's
man.
Better keep them away.
Oh yeah, they North Carolina, we're in Florida.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
You better make sure. Maybe Eric needs to make that trip. Maybe this will be the matchup where y'all are on the same page and y'all smash them together.
I wish I could. I can't get down there. So.
Oh yeah. So it's gonna be 3 y'all, huh?
Yep.
You gotcha. Good deal. Well, we have to figure out who's starting for Florida because it's gonna be interesting to see.
I could almost guarantee you, probably Casper's going to be one of them.
Oh, there's no doubt.
And I bet Conrad will be another one.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No.
Especially since he didn't get to come up here and get his ass whooped. So
yeah, he was working.
That time.
He was working.
He was working.
Yeah, he was working.
Yeah.
Didn't want none of that jig master. None of it.
None of
So yeah. Well, boys, glad you're down in Florida safely. Be safe down there. Eric, good to see you, my friend.
Thank you,
and
sir.
Man, good job on the victory, man. Keep it rolling.
Thank you. All right.
Y'all, take care.
I'll see you in battle on the border.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, I want to fish that too. So, man.
So you need to fish it.
I know.
Yeah, sign up. It's on there. It's up.
What date is that?
23rd of October.
Oh yeah, I gotta fish that.
Yeah.
Yep, you do.
It's gonna be a good time.
I got a spot down there that's pretty nice.
Sweet.
I'm staying with Greg.
All right, y'all. Take care.
Take it easy.
All right, y'all.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, let's finish the night out, shall we?
We shall
with
finish
your
it out.
boy, Jesse Wade. Jesse, dude.
The other guy.
Congratulations
How's it
on
going?
congratulations on your victory. And Jesse, you had one heck of a freaking showing, dude. 122 inches, man. In the running for the MVP of the South, man. Good job.
It was not what it seemed on paper. I will tell you that right now.
Really?
We had our conversations afterwards, and it was literally junk fishing 101 at its finest. I caught them on a shaky head, a jig, a spinner bait, a chatter bait, a jerk bait. Caught one on a buzz bait. Caught him on a swim jig. It was just trying to figure out because we had a 6-degree temperature drop from the day before, at least on surface temp, and literally had
pouring down rain. Wasn't it?
It was torrential downpours off and on. But I don't know if you watched the Hank Cherry interviews after he won, but as I was launching my kayak, I pulled my kayak to the side and there was a little runoff coming off the bank. I'm like, man, this water is cold. And I took one step to the side and it warmed up like 5 degrees. I'm like, all right, well, I'm staying away from any kind of runoff. And honestly, I told Florida, the two guys that were up there, we probably escaped a lot closer game by about 150 yards. Obviously, I'm not going to give them that information on the water, but the fish they found pre-fishing, they found good fish. But that cold water surface temp pulled them off where they found them, and they were about 150 yards away from where they thought they were.
Wow.
Yeah. So Jesse fished close to the same area as those guys. And first off, people look at the numbers from that matchup and think, oh shit, Norfolk just whooped their ass. Florida was only able to send up 2 anglers, right?
They only got 2 anglers. Yeah,
we
allowed them to compete.
They had to get permission from the rules committee to compete. Those guys drove up, so I mean, they gave them permission to compete. Now, think about this. In practice, Jason Starley, the smallest fish he caught in practice was a 16-inch fish.
Yep.
Everything he was catching in practice was
large,
good fish.
Yep.
And so it wasn't like it was going to be a given. I mean, we started 4, we did, and we had Jason over the night before the tournament over the house. We ate steaks, we talked chop or whatnot, and he was on good fish, and he put his partner who came up, which was Thomas, on good fish as well. But it's like exactly what Jesse just said. I want to say the other guy because that's what your tag is, but it's just like what Jesse said. They were like not very far from having a great matchup where it would have been
a lot closer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's again, like football, it's a game of inches, right? Well, so is fishing sometimes,
Yeah. Now Jesse was the all-star for this matchup, man.
He was. I mean, absolutely.
I think he had a top 5 bag, right?
He did. Had 122 inches. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Did very, very well, man. I mean, like he was talking about, he was junk fishing the entire time. He was catching it on just about everything he threw, the whole kitchen sink. But I mean, you got to figure that out, man. That's part of it,
What's crazy?
Honestly,
go ahead, Jesse.
I figured out. I'm gonna say about 40 minutes too late. You guys saw my last fish that came in. I came up on a school. Like, I'll throw out a random guess just with how many came up busting. There was probably 15 fish, anywhere from 3 to 7 pounds. And that's a total guess just with some of the big ones I saw come up busting bait. And I could get them to react when they came up busting, obviously, but then they would drop down for like 20 minutes. And they weren't all that deep, but I couldn't figure out a bait that they would hit. I mean, I went slow dragging a weightless Senko. I went wacky, naked swim bait. And I finally threw on a swim jig with like 20 minutes to go. They came up busting. I grabbed my jerk bait. I lost the probably 5-pounder right at the end and immediately just reeled in my line, picked up my swim bait I had, caught like a 15, I think, 15-inch spotted bass. And then right at the end, like the fish hit the boat at, I think, 58. And one of my other lures hooked in its tail. So I was fighting to get the hook out because I know having that hook in its tail in the picture is going to DQ it.
Yep.
Finally got it off and snapped the picture literally with seconds to spare. But yeah, it was one of those woulda, shoulda, couldas. If I would have had 40 more minutes, I definitely could have done some damage. But
yeah.
And this is what I'll tell you, Greg, about this lake that we put Florida on. This lake is a great lake. It's normally, the way this lake fishes normally is it's a pattern lake. So if you figure out the pattern, you can go anywhere on the lake and you'll smash them.
Smash them.
Smash them. But this lake was down, 3 to 4 feet?
That's
easily,
tough.
yeah.
That's tough, man. And then you have pouring rain on top of that. And like Jesse was talking about, you got runoff coming down and, it's cooling off the water temperatures really quickly.
It was really terrible. Terrible for us, humans conditions.
Yeah.
It was pouring down raining for 6 of the 7 hours that we were on the water.
That's not
a sprinkle. Not a sprinkle, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Trust me. We were out there in Michigan. We got crushed. And then the sun comes out, and then you're like, oh, my God. Why couldn't you just stay raining? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'll just tell you about a real quick synopsis of my day. I didn't have a bite I'm sorry. I didn't catch a scoreable fish in the first 3 hours.
That's frustrating too, you know?
Yeah. So all I was catching was 13s, 12s, 13 3/4 in the first 3 hours. And normally, I'm being 100% honest. Normally, I go that long without catching a scoreable fish. My confidence starts waning.
Yep.
It didn't.
Anybody's would.
It didn't
Yeah.
this day. I don't know why. I'm just telling you for 100%. It didn't this day, and I kept my confidence stay where it was. I was like, I'm going to catch them. I know what I found in practice. In practice, I found this one area. Actually, I found 2 areas, but I found this one area that had a bunch of bluegill beds.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time ever in my life, Greg. I told you this on the phone. First time ever in my life. I'm pretty good at reading my fish finder, right?
Yep.
Pretty good at tuning it in and doing all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
First time in my life I've ever gone over bluegill beds, and you see like 20 to 30 bluegill beds, and half of those bluegill beds had a white dot sitting in the middle of them.
Right.
And I tossed the jig out there, I would get bit. In practice, I caught a limit. Me and Charles Cruz caught over a 10 fish limit in like 20 minutes on this spot. Like 20 minutes on this spot. And it was
Crazy.
all 15 to 18-inch fish.
Wow.
So that was the plan going into the matchup.
Yeah.
I hit that spot during the rain, and there were a couple fish on it. It wasn't like I saw it on side scan how I saw it in practice, but I didn't get a bite. And so like 3 hours went by, I didn't get a bite. I pulled up the rain stopped for a minute and the wind chilled. So the whole time it was raining, the wind was blowing pretty good. The wind chilled for a minute. I was like, well, maybe now the fish moved onto the wood. I found one lay down that actually had water on it because all the lay downs were out of the water because it was 3 feet down.
Yeah.
This one actually had water on it. I tossed it and I caught like a 15 3/4. Took my picture, put the fish back in, repositioned my boat, tossed back in. I caught a 19 3/4. Right. Tossed back
That'll
in.
get your confidence up.
Yeah, exactly. Tossed back in. I caught a 15. I was like, okay. Didn't catch anything else from that, but I was like, I'm on to something.
Yeah.
And over the last 3 hours of the tournament, I caught a lot of fish. I didn't post them because they weren't going to call. So there was no point in me posting them. And then at the end of the tournament, last 30 minutes, I went all the way north, where it was like really shallow and a lot of pads and a lot of grass. And I'm not a top order fisherman at all. I need to do it more so I can get better at it. But I went back there, started tossing the frog. And when I tell you in the last 30 minutes, I lost 4 fish that were in the 19 to 20 inch range because I suck at throwing top water frog. Like I had them hooked and they came up and jumped through the frog every time. But I mean, we already pretty much had the wind secured, but I got to get better at throwing top water.
Well, I mean,
you got to add like 30 foot-pounds to that hook set.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. I mean, you guys can't think of like you already won. You guys are still chasing Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the point spread. So you got to put pedal to the metal, have show no mercy, man. Sweep the leg. And you know what I mean? I mean, on every tournament, man, because these points add up, man. Because if they have a loss, you know, and the point spread's better, man, that 19 or those 2 19s matter, dude. I mean, every one of them matter, you know.
You're right, and it's crazy because when I listened to Jesse telling me the recap of his day, he said he caught them all junk. He told me like all the baits he caught them on. I don't know if he said it while I was gone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was
man.
just like, what the hell? I could only get bit once I figured out the color combination of jig that they wanted, and then I was throwing a Ned rig, which I never throw because I hate.
Oh my gosh!
Ned rig. All I catch is the bottom of the river or lake.
Yep,
grass,
and
tree that's in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can catch him on was those 2 things. And when he told me all the things he caught him on, but in the area he was in, I was like, that's where all those spots school up at. And this lake has big spots.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the weird thing. The majority of my fish, if you look back at my pictures, I only caught a few spots. They were there. Like I went over the deep basins and I was looking for them, and I caught a couple out there.
Right.
But like not like you normally do up there.
Right. Well, I got to ask you. I mean, who's coming up to face the Washington Warhawks, man?
You want to know?
I do.
All right. It's going to be Heath. It's going to be Arlie Minton.
Like, who's this Heath gentleman you're talking about?
It's gonna be the other guy right there.
Oh, he's coming.
That guy, right? there.
Nice. Nice.
I mean, come on, dude. Just put up over 120 inches. Come on, man.
Heck yeah, man.
I'm asking him to teach me how to fish.
Can't wait to have you guys come to my house.
It's gonna be the other guy. It's gonna be the Whisperer.
Very cool.
James Quinn.
Yep.
And it's gonna be the OG.
Okay.
Ray Montez.
Okay, man. I like it. So
wait,
yeah.
no, am I wrong? Ray's fishing, no, is it? Yeah, Ray's fishing, right? Yeah.
I will tell you this.
And myself.
I will tell you, this river will fish way different from the last time you guys were here.
I'm not listening to you.
I'm serious.
Listening.
It's different. Wait till you guys see it. You guys are going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked.
Don't be trying to throw us off right now. All right.
Okay. I'm just telling you.
Who's fishing for Washington?
You're going to be like,
who's fishing for Washington?
It's the same place. It's going to be myself, Dennis Robinson, who's making his debut, Michael Hogan, and Mike Garland.
Michael's fishing with his broke foot?
He's going to be fishing. Yep. And there's an NVKBA tournament going on, gentlemen.
Yeah,
that you're more than welcome to get into.
Yeah.
So at the
So it
same
means
time,
going to be more pressure on the water.
more pressure on the water. Yes.
That's fine, but I'm gonna kick Mike in his foot like the morning of the tournament. Why didn't he standing there?
Yeah, so he's gonna come back, man. So yeah, it's gonna be Mike, Dennis, and Greg, and Dennis Robinson knows this river. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I know Dennis is a good stick, man. So I know it's not gonna be easy. Well, we need to win. We have to have this win. So it's coming.
Well,
I was thinking we need the win, and then with where you're staying, Rob, I wouldn't mind having like 4 valve stems. If you could get me those.
Right. I hear you, man. I hear you. Oh man, I got those spinners, man. You can't be messing with my spinners.
That's a different story.
Oh my gosh.
Well, man, Jesse, man, was this your debut? It wasn't because you fished the.
No, I fished the Chick River and fell on my face.
No, man. Yeah, that was a tough bite, man. I mean, I'll be honest, I was shocked that Tar Heels came in and did what they did. They just found the juice, and the fish.
They didn't find no goddamn juice. You know what they did? Threw a damn Cinco in the grass.
That was the juice.
It was actually Mike Wimmer. Mike Wimmer, I hate you. I love you, but I hate you. Mike caught 2 19-inch fish in like the last hour.
Yeah,
to just break our hearts.
So the worst part was
Dontrell Sullivan fished very well too.
To be on the sideline and watch that happen, it hurt. Just like your first game, the first game of KFL, like how you had to do.
Yeah,
it hurt so much to watch that happen on the sideline.
The worst part was I think all 4 of us that were on the water lost a fish somehow that would have put us over the top.
Dude, Ray lost a big fish like on live. Like he was fighting the fish and he was like, it's wrapped up, blah, blah. And then he turned his camera off. And I was like, okay, he turned it off because he got it. Well, he didn't get it.
Yeah.
So I was hurt. But anyway.
No, I mean you saw one of the ones that would have done it for us on live, that frog swing that didn't do anything. Like you were wondering why I set the hook that hard. That was probably a 5-pounder. And I lost another one when I made my long run. I lost one that I set the hook on it and it torpedoed right at the side of the kayak, hit the side of the kayak, and I heard the weight in the hook hit the side of my kayak and it popped off.
Ugh.
So
it make you sick.
So Greg, I have a question for you. I know you're hosting and all, but this is a question for the angler, Mr. Greg Nosar.
Yeah.
What's the motivation for this weekend?
Beating you guys by far. I mean, here's the deal. I mean, look, we're in-state rivals. I mean, you guys took it to us, down at Chesden.
Yeah.
That was a grinder. Hopefully that won't happen here. Hopefully, both teams will catch it. But I mean, look, it's no different from the Yankees, Red Sox. It's no different from, Bulls, Pistons. It's no different from Bears, Packers, man. We develop a friendly rivalry, and our motivation is to beat the rivals, man. I mean, calling all, great anglers. Let's go. Let's have a little backyard brawl, man.
It's 100% accurate because you're my homie. I love you. I love you like a little brother. But when we fishing against each other, I want to rip your throat out.
That's it, man.
Especially
That's
since
it.
they beat us on a premier fishery in the country. I would
Yeah.
say Sandy is a premier fishery in the country. I think
It's a premier fishery in the East Coast.
Yeah,
it really is.
And they didn't beat us there. They didn't beat us there. That guy beat us there.
That was
That guy
preseason,
over there.
man.
It was preseason. I don't care, dude. It was you beat us. Your whole.
But you know what?
total
Just
beat
like
us.
Jesse said, like about Florida. Jesse was 150 yards from the juice.
No, they were. Florida was. Yeah.
No,
they were.
I know,
Yeah.
but you were 150 yards at Sandy from the juice.
So literally, as I was coming, I don't know, I was probably making my second pass up that side where you passed me. I looked down at my fish finder and realized I'd gained like 2 degrees from the bridge.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I got to get on it. And as soon as I rounded that corner and saw you guys back there, I'm like, I figured it out, 20 minutes too late.
Yep.
I'll tell you, he figured out the debate because I was fishing in the same area as you on Sandy, man, in the beginning.
Yeah.
Remember, because I passed you.
Yep.
And then I saw the fish on side scanner on the finder, but I couldn't get them to bite. You had that gold, quarter ounce lipless?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was what they wanted. And you were
they wouldn't see. They wouldn't. I started out with a silver and black rattle trap, and they wouldn't touch it. So then I went to it was a half ounce.
Was it a half ounce? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a gold half ounce, and you had to get it right up on the bank, man, right off the wood, and bounce it off the wood, and bounce it off the rock, and then have it go down the ledge. And they were smoking it right down that ledge, man. So I mean, the more noise, the more racket, the better. And they just came up off that flat and smoked it. So
yeah, I mean, I'll be standing here. That's why Jesse brought it up. People who's watching, I'll be standing in Greg's yard in his camper for that tournament. So I'll be in prime position to sabotage all of his gear, and Greg's the equalizer on that. A lot of people think that man over there can't fish. He can fish.
Well, here's the thing. Like, this is my home debut. Like the last couple, I didn't fish the first home game here, so this is my home debut. I've been on the road every single matchup,
and it was crazy that you didn't fish that debut.
Yeah, well, it was the first week, man. Me and you had to make magic, make magic, man. Make KFL work. So, well, boys, safe travels up here, man. Looking forward to it. Let's do it,
Yes,
man.
sir.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
On the water and off the water is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be a blast, man. So,
and hopefully we can get Ray to make his KFL debut.
Yeah,
Ray doesn't like the camera. But
that's okay, man. But he's a good fisherman too. I saw what he's got. He does pretty good stuff. So, well, guys, look forward to it, man. Let's get it done, guys. That's KFL tonight, man.
Yeah. We're gonna end with the other guy. You see that face right there? Remember that face. He's gonna be famous. You see it? All of it.
I hear you, man.
Everybody, I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. We've had at least 7 to 8 people who rocked with us the entire hour and 58 minutes. Appreciate every last one of you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. It's shaping up. It's getting crazy.
Playoff time, man.
Playoff time.
We're gonna have to do a playoff show while you're here, dude. Like here.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, we'll do it. You want to do it before we beat you because I don't want you to be all sad after.
No, we'll do it beforehand. Trust me. And then I'll let you go home first, and then we'll watch you cry on Sunday night. So.
You know what? And what's crazy is that even if we lose, I think we'll still be in third place because of our win-loss spread, and that's only if Southeast Texas wins. So we'll still be in the playoff spot. But whatever. Not looking at that. I'm looking to.
It's a good thing we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm looking at whooping the
Just gotta win. Gotta
exactly,
win out, baby.
bro.
Yeah, you gotta win out.
Exactly.
All right, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
We'll
Everybody
see
appreciate y'all.
Robert, thanks for hanging out with doing this tonight, man.
Yeah, man. My wife's going. I can hang out anytime.
All right, Carl. Take care. Have a great night. Peace. We're out of here.
Peace. KFL Tonight. Out.